Good morning, nation. Could there be hidden gems among us in this rookie mini camp going on this weekend? We're going to go ahead and talk about that and much more on a fresh episode of Good Morning Raiders. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and kick this thing off. Here we go. Protect the shield. Good morning, brother. How you doing?
My God, lunatic Raider Legion. What is good?
We on? Hey!
We on. None other than Mr. Fitz, bringing none other than our guy, Joe Moore. Bring out none other than the Violator, Wayne Maubrey. Bring out none other than the notorious Petro.
Good morning, nation. It's your boy Jay Raider back at you again with a fresh episode of Good Morning Raiders. Appreciate you guys pulling up and tapping in. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, as you already know. That's how we do it, man. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe button on this channel. Share it on all social media platforms. Again, appreciate you guys pulling up, tapping in on this hopefully beautiful Saturday morning, wherever you guys be at. But y'all already know we got quite a bit to talk about today. We have rookie minicamp literally kicked off yesterday, so we're on day 2 of minicamp. It's going on. We got Fernando and company out in Henderson doing the damn thing. They're all practicing right now. So we're going to go ahead and talk about all that good stuff and much more. But y'all already know, I can't go ahead and do this show completely alone. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my guest. My guy does the Cover 3 show with Christopher Raiders and my guy Chewy as well. Make sure you guys go ahead and tap in also on the Sunday Morning Pillaging Show. Make sure you guys go ahead and tap in for that one as well. But let me go ahead and bring out my guy, none other than Raider Nation, Jason in the building. What is good, my guy? Salute to you.
Jay, what's up, man? I appreciate you having me on, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. But again, appreciate everyone pulling up. We're gonna go ahead and do a quick roll call before we go ahead and get into it. Real quick, y'all. Shout out to my guy, Mark Raiders in the building. What is good? Appreciate you, my guy. Salute. Rorschach 2-4 in the building. Salute, my guy. Appreciate you pulling up. Bloody Raider in the building. What is good, my guy? Salute. Appreciate you pulling up. Yes, sir. Rorschach says the draft is over. The media is on our sacks. There you go. Yeah, man. That's what's up, bro. Hey, it's weird. Having like praise to us, like giving us like our flowers, bro. We ain't used to it, but it's more than overdue, bro, for sure. Shout out to my guy being a member for 2 months now. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, guy, and one of my mods here at Just Race. So if you want to be like Rorschach, you want to become a member, you want to be part of the fam, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that link that's pinned up top. And it really does help to go ahead and keep the lights on here at Just Raiders. But again, appreciate you guys tapping in. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. Rookie minicamp underway. All right, we're gonna go ahead and kind of get into the draft classes that are there. Obviously, the draft picks are there for sure. Let me go ahead and pull that out. I got it ready. So we got our guy Fernando. Obviously, it's in the building, but also we have Tredian Stukes as well. He'll be in the building. Keon Crawford, a new offensive lineman, Trey Zune the third. Jermon McCoy. Man, I'm happy about that one. Jermon McCoy. Mike Washington Jr., Dalton Johnson, Hikazea Masses will be in the building, Malik Benson, and then Brandon Cleveland as well. They'll be in the building. And then we also got our UDFAs are going to be attending as well. Let me go ahead and pull up that one real quick. And hang on 1 second. Where's my UDFA? All right, there we go. All right. And then my UDFAs that will be attending, I got Roman Hembley, EJ Williams, Gary Smith III out of UCLA, nose tackle, Matt Lauder out of Boise State, Isaiah Jada from BYU, Kenzei Tokyo To Matsuzawa will be in the building, Sawyer Robertson out of Baylor, Tyler Zuzanski, the long snapper out of Penn State, Devin Lafayette, safety out of Troy, Tanner Wall, safety out of BYU, Caleb Offord, corner out of Kennesaw State. I'm going to just say this. Keep an eye on that dude. Saying. CN Stone, edge out of NC State, Chase Roberts, receiver out of BYU, or Rucker, receiver out of Arkansas State, excuse me. Justin Pickett, offensive line, Duke. Xavier Sorry Jr., linebacker out of Kansas. Again, another name to go ahead and keep an eye out for. Jacob Clark, quarterback out of Missouri. And then Chris Thomas, linebacker out of Maine as well. So another name to go ahead and kind of keep a lookout for as well. Let me go ahead and check out my trying to set up my chat here. All right, here we go. But really quick before I get into the camp invitees, what do you think about let me pick your brain as far as how do you feeling about the draft that we just finished, the UDFAs that we just signed? How are you feeling about that?
No, the draft kind of was a roller coaster ride. Like, and as I've heard, I wasn't alone, just of how, first, we knew what the first day was going to be. We hoped for maybe a trade up into the first round, but we were okay with them staying put. Now, we get the we pretty much trade back, and I wanted McDonald, so that kind of started it. But we got a safety, so I was okay because I know we needed a free safety. But then the next pick, which I believe was Crawford, right? If I'm not mistaken. But from Stukes. From Stukes, it was
Crawford.
So that I'm like, okay, like that's not a need. I'm like, we have too many people. If that, like, we got Kuntz, we got Crosby, we got Quiddy Pay, we got, I'm saying, all these. I'm like, that's not we got other rooms that could be addressed. And then we get Zune, which was like a center guard, and I'm like, okay, that's it. And then it didn't help because the announcers were like, "Oh, that's a great depth piece." I'm like, depth piece? We're supposed to be getting starters, man. Like, because I wanted somebody to either replace Colton Miller coming up, like the next person to take his place. You know what I mean? That tackle of the future, or even Glaze, like someone to take that place, if we end up bumping him to guard like they were talking about, or whatever happens, just somebody to upgrade just in case. Because, you know, him and JPJ, Miller and JPJ came off injuries. So I'm thinking, okay, we got to have a backup plan because we're going to do the same thing like we did last year. If they get hurt, we're in the same. And then we got a depth piece coming, you know. So I flipped out, you know. I talked to Chris, and Chris kind of calmed me down. And, you know, really he was right because the way that day went, like the safety was the best pick of that day at that to me and at that moment. And then I'm thinking, okay, how is this helping Fernando? Like, how is this going to help Fernando if we're getting depth pieces to, you know what I'm saying? Like, and, you know, I just had a meltdown, but we recovered on day 3.
It's okay. You and I both, bro.
Bro, it was great because they hit. And it's funny because when you look at the whole draft, everything we wanted, they hit on. It's just a different order than we had in place. Of, you know,
oh yeah, everybody's board was totally like out the window, bro. Like I was telling the guys on Wednesday, I'm like, man, I just went like this to my board, bro, because it doesn't matter anymore, bro. Like only one dude out of like all the dudes that I had on there, no matter what order you had them in there, hit, bro, and it was Stooks. Bro, that was it, bro. Like, and I didn't even have that dude like on top of the list. I had the dude like all the way in the bottom. I'm like,
yeah, the order of the last 2 drafts, like this one and last, were crazy. Everything is condensed. Like, there's no more like where 7th round you can get, you know, like a good. It's kind of like everything's in the first 5 rounds, if that, you know what I mean. And then you're just kind of hoping to get lucky. But yeah, what pick brought me back to feeling good was the Mike Washington pick. You know what I mean? Because I was like, thank you. Because I just felt like our running back room was naked until, you know, we got him. And he's the back that I wanted. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, finally. Because we got someone that basically, he can run people over too. And I'm like, Genty can run people over. So defenses can't, like with Zeus, they can take a play off. They can be like, this dude, all he's going to do is just run up the middle or just run into somebody. But with him, it's going to take 1, 2, you know what I mean, people to get him down. So there's no break on the defense, and that's what we need. We just gonna, you know, run it down their throat. So I love that pick. You know, I don't know if you guys seen his interview too, where he was talking about basically where he's seen himself going. He was talking about as a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like how he thinks, and if he can, you know what I'm saying, just do half of what, you know what I'm saying, he's talking about, man, it'll help Genty out. It'll help this team out. So
yeah, for sure. For sure. Real quick, shout out to our guy. Where's he at, man? Or shout out to our guy Leo. He was right here a minute ago. Appreciate you pulling up. Salute, my guy. Here we go. There you go. Appreciate you, my guy. Salute. Shout out to our guy Roshak in the building. He says, thanks for the support you give your audience. Most appreciated. Trying to support as much as I can, but always appreciate your contact and fam. Yes, sir. Hey, man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. You know, obviously the supers ain't required, but is always appreciated, my guy. Salute to you, man. With the $5 super. But let me go ahead, man. You know what, bro? I mean, this kind of picking back what you said. I think the only one that I really like tripped on was the Zoom pick, man. And it's not even. I like the pick. I like the dude. Yeah. I just don't like where it was picked at, you know. And it's exactly. I think initially a lot of people were kind of like, "What?" You know, they're all kind of looking sideways, you know. But and that kind of goes to show you like how, you know, just people value different things, you know, and especially in this draft, how Spytech was valuing different players. So we, you know, Raider Nation or most people might see it one way, but they're the ones seeing it a different way. So obviously, you know, the picks are in already. So, you know, we're all rooting for them, and hopefully they're, you know, they pan out. You know, obviously that's not all of them are, but hopefully most of them do, man. But it is interesting, and we'll talk about some of the guys. Go ahead again to keep an eye on and why. Let me go ahead and kind of pull up the camp invitees. So again, these are guys that players that are not signed, but they were invited to mini camp to go ahead and essentially quote unquote kind of try out. So Right now, the invitees are running back Shamari Lawrence out of Missouri State, running back Miles Davis, Utah State, Tawi Walker, Cincinnati, another wide receiver. I'm sorry, another running back, wide receiver, Dijon Reynolds, local guy out of UNLV. Michael Shubikoff, Idaho State. He's a hybrid. He's a wide receiver tight end. At least that's how it's listed here. Wide receiver Jonathan Brady out of Indiana, Malcolm Gilly, Coastal Carolina, Patrick Gerd out of Cincinnati. He's a fullback tight end hybrid as well. A tackle Kamar Missouri out of UTSA. Nicholas Henning Queens out of Canada. Wow. Tackle guard Quincy Hughes of Walford. Tackle guard Austin USA out of BYU. Guard Brandon Felter out of Rutgers. Offensive line Peyton Brose out of Delaware. Edge um, Malachi Williams out of Boise State. Edge Josh Siskar out of USF. Defensive tackle Michael Oti out of Bryant. Linebackers Jadon Pearson, Fresno State. Giovanni Lovino out of Hawaii. Marcel McDuffie, local guy out of UNLV. Jaden Keller, Virginia Tech. Those are the linebackers. Corners Bostros Alessandro, Old Dominion. David Perkins out of Utah Tech. And free safety Eric Butler out of San Diego State. And then you got punters James Platt, Joseph Sam Johnson out of Citadel and USC, and then long snapper Gavin Lipkin out of Southern Utah. So most people are not going to know these names. I don't know these names. Not really anybody kind of stands out from that list, but you never know, man. One of these guys might do something in camp that can potentially land him either a sign deal or an invitation to go ahead and attend OTAs in a couple of weeks. So, but this is currently the list that are at camp. So it's going to be about 40 people there roughly, and I think they're going to carry about 17 rookies, 18 rookies, something like that, into the rest of like OTAs and mini camp that's coming up in the next few weeks, literally right around the corner. And we have OTAs starting May 18th. They run May 18th, and then May 2020 and 21st, May 26th, 28th to 29th, and June 1st to June 4th. And then after that, you have the kickoff of mandatory minicamp starting June 6th to the 11th. So literally all these things right around the corner. So any of these guys could potentially, obviously, if they look good enough, they might go ahead and get an invitation back to attend the next ones. But kind of going back to what we're talking about earlier, the potential hidden gems, man. Honestly, bro, out of all the signings, man, like I talked about on my Monday show, I like Hikazaya Masses. That's a guy you definitely got to go ahead and keep your eyes on. A guy that can go ahead and make plays. Not for sure a guy that's most likely going to be a rotational piece, but pretty sure he's going to be throwing some jobs, bro. I like the kid. I like the tape on this kid. And I think our cornerback room got a big boost this year. That's one of the things kind of looking at it last year, having guys like Darnay Holmes. We have Greedy Vance back there. We had Kyle Blue Kelly, these guys, the talent wasn't really there last year. We scraped by, but we suffered a lot during that process. So it's good to go ahead and get some added support. So that's one of my guys you need to kind of, for me, is definitely a hidden gem that we literally got in the 5th round. and then Malik Benson, I'll probably be the other one as well from the main draft picks. For me, it's more on that punt return, that special teams, and last year special teams was a area that we also kind of had issues with. We had issues all around, but special teams usually we're pretty sure up in that in that phase. It's good to go ahead and get a guy like Malik Benson in. Obviously, you got that 4.3 speed that can go ahead and cook dudes whenever possible. You know what I mean? So what are your potential out there from the main draft class?
That's funny because those two definitely Masses and Benson. Because Benson, I was watching something yesterday and they said, like, how does Benson fit in our offense as the Kubiak system or whatever? And he said Jake Bobo. Like basically when JSN and I forget the other one right now, but the other wide receiver and the tight end are pretty much covered or whatever. Jake Bobo is always the one to get open like a safety blanket, which I'm like, for us is pretty cool. Like you got someone that's, what I mean? And I like the kid coming out. I literally thought he would be, taken a lot sooner, and just, I don't know. It just seems like all the things are falling to us right now. Like everything is kind of going our way. I'd have to put Jermod McCoy on that list because it's a big tweener. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as, because like it could go either way. You know what I'm saying? This could be the greatest steal that we've ever, that the league has ever seen, or it could go the Raider way. You know what I mean? And it's just, so I mean, we're so used to the negative, but I don't know. I just have a feeling like, because that technically is the worst pick that we made, and we don't know that yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, that's the gamble that we've made. Usually, it's 6 gambles and then we get one good player. You know what I'm saying? Like of our history. So we're doing things different. You know what I mean? So like, I can't even be mad. Benson, we said Masses. I think, like you said, Masses is gonna take someone's spot. That boy Spunky, he's gonna take someone's spot. If it's DeCamerion, you know what I'm saying, which I just don't see making it. I mean, he's got the speed and all that, but we just haven't seen enough, and so it's kind of even ground.
Yeah, and I know we just started mini camp, and we'll kind of drift a little bit into the rest of them into like potential training camp as well. But I mean, like I said, Zeke, I think he's going to go ahead and be contending for some jobs, bro. Like some people's jobs are going to be on the line. I think we have about like 8 or 9 dudes in the corner position alone. So not everybody's going to go ahead and make that 53. It's only 53 dudes that we can carry on the active roster. You know what I mean? So, guys like, before probably like guys like, Kyrie Bukele, which, he's not around anymore, but like guys like Greedy Vance, probably going to be in bubble. D-Cam might be in the bubble, man, where he may or may not make it, This is going to be a year where there's some real serious competition. So you need to go ahead and really show something. If not, then I don't know if I see you place in the active roster. You'll be looking to go ahead and be able to make the practice squad. So it might be that type of situation. And I mean, you got to think about the secondary with guys like Eric Stokes, Darian Porter. They're back for another year. We just picked up. Bless you. We just picked up Jermod McCoy, bro. Jermod McCoy. And let's talk about him for a second. I mean, this dude might end up playing, bro. That is kind of what the word out is currently. Kind of that. Hold on, dog. Let me. I haven't done this for a minute, but let me go ahead and pull this.
Love rumors. Facts can be so misleading. Were rumors true or false are often revealing.
There you go. So the rumor is Jermod McCoy might possibly end up playing this year. The Raiders kind of feel a little bit confident on that knee. I haven't heard anything as far as any further evaluations, but from what it seems like, they already had the team docs kind of look at the X-rays and look at kind of like where his knee is currently at, and they feel kind of confident that he's probably going to go ahead and play sometime this year. So that man, if Jermon McCoy plays, that's gonna be man. That's gonna change a lot of things, bro. And it was again for me, I was shocked, bro. I was shocked in a good way because I was like, oh shit, like I'm getting ready to go ahead and kick off the draft show. And I see them, making this move, and I'm like, okay. And they picked up Jamad, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, that's crazy. I'm like, I'm for it. Cool, because like he was still there. He was supposed to be a first round pick that we got in the fourth round. Um, to me, that's you man, that's a steal, but it does come with a little bit of caveat is that knee, man, if that knee don't hold up, then it's gonna be a short time span. But I think go into that scenario, like, all right, cool. I think this is a gamble that you're willing to go ahead and make for the reason being is that you're not, it's a fourth round pick. Yes, it's still a fourth round pick, but you're not leasing a second round, third round, first round pick on Jermon McCoy. You're essentially getting him on the cheap for 4 years if he makes it that far. Um, and you might get, a year, 2 years, 3 years, or we might get the next 8 years out of him. It could just definitely work out that way, So, but if you do, man, you got a potential shutdown corner in your arsenal now. What do you think about the Jamad McCoy, the way that went down, and possibly how you see his future, not just for this season, but kind of like for the rest of his potential career with us?
Yeah, like I piggyback off that too, because I want him to have a long career, even if like say it's not with us, whatever. I want the kid to have a good career, like, and of course I would love it to be with us, and then we made a gamble that actually paid off, and then so like say if he goes to our number one, Porter could be a number two. We got Masses possibly for that number two spot, three, whatever. And we got a young room going forward, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, basically that takes the pressure off our secondary drafting, you know what I'm saying? We'll have it all in 1 year. And we got their safeties, you know what I'm saying, sorry to jump on that, but now we got the two guys, like I like having Johnson and Stoops, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, how I seen it, as soon as we got Johnson, I'm like, there's the other half. You know what I mean? I cover one side, you get the other. You know what I'm saying? So you lock your side, I lock mine. And so that's what I'm like. I love it because we don't even have to really learn too much because we've already communicated playing. I know what you do. I know you know what I do. You know what I gamble, when I gamble, how to have my back. And when you gamble, I know when to have your back. You know what I'm saying? So I love that. You know what I'm saying? So I love how our secondary and everything is shaping out. Because what do we say? We had the up front. We just didn't have the back. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have the backside. We had nobody that was going to chase the ball and go get the ball. It just seemed like a whole bunch of one-on-one battles with wide receivers. No safeties except chasing. You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Yeah, man, I'm excited. And again, if Jamal plays, bro, like, it's elevating everybody to go ahead and perform better, because he's taking somebody's job, whether it's corner one, CB1 or CB2. I don't know, man. It's one or the other. He's just that talented, Again, it's all about that knee, and it's always going to be kind of in the back of our minds. But I think Raider Nation, us as a fan base, got to know, like, hey, gotta kind of accept that he's on a borrowed time. But if it ends up where he's here for the next however many years, man, on long term, then we just ended up winning that deal. You know what I mean? But real quick, again, appreciate you guys pulling up and tapping in on this Saturday morning. Again, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe button on this channel, on my boy's channel over here, Raider Nation Jason. I got his link pinned down below in the description. Make sure you guys head on over, hit that subscribe on my guy. All right, so let me go ahead and hit up the chat. My guy, Greg says, hold on one second. I don't know what he was talking about earlier. Uh, my guy, my guy Walt says, don't sleep on EJ Williams. We're gonna go ahead and talk about him for sure, bro. That dude is definitely on my list. Let's see. Shout out to Ray Love in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. My guy Gray says the hatred on McCoy is a joke. They just hating on the first runner that fell to us in the fourth. Yeah, exactly, bro. And it's just funny how I kept seeing that dude slip, bro. It was just slipping. Nobody's picking him, and I'm like, all right, this is my go here. No, nobody, bro. Like, and I think Spytech realized, all right, cool, this dude is still there. Like, nobody's taking a flyer on him. Yeah, let's go ahead and move up one spot. And honestly, bro, I don't even think Buffalo would have picked him. I just think Spytek got a little bit of cold feet at that point. He's like, you know what, we're just gonna move up one spot. Let's see, we're giving up a 7 to move up one, and so he made the call. But I think if he would have waited, he may have fallen down to 102. That would have even been more of a trip, bro, because he didn't have to do anything. It just fell to him. So
he might be that protected player. I'm looking for that too. Like, how we get to tuck one player, just in case or whatever. So if anything, like say if we find out something, we could, keep him protected so that way nobody can take him, off our roster from that either, because practice squad, somebody's going to try to steal him. But, I'm pretty sure we're crafty enough to.
Jermod?
Yeah.
Oh no, he ain't going to practice squad, dog. If he sits, he's sitting out for the season. That's kind of how they so once training camp kind of starts winding down, they have to go ahead and get their 53-man roster set up. So at that point, whether they feel he's going to be good, they'll probably just activate it. They'll keep him on the active roster. If they feel that he might need to go ahead and if he has an issue, if he gets like a, I don't know, like a sprain or something like that in the knee, then they might sit him with him starting in within the first 6 games, or they might just go ahead and shelf him until next year. It's one of those scenarios. I think they're just gonna go about it like camp per camp and just kind of see how it goes. Preseason is gonna really be the telltale. And if he's good, you might see him. You might see him start. You might see him on that 53. So it could go different ways. But yeah, for sure. Yeah. Jermod was a steal for sure, bro. Shout out to Jack Ken in the building. What is good, my guy? Salute. My guy Pred in the building. What is good, my guy? Salute to you. Appreciate you pulling up. Yes, sir. Yeah, Greg says if we did not McCoy when we did, some other team would have taken him in the same round. I mean, we're 102, bro, so we're in the second pick. But yes, you could also have that. You can somebody can always trade up and steal him. So again, we didn't give up a whole lot. We gave up a 7 to go ahead and swap picks.
Next year 7 too. At that, like it was
next year. So yeah, we always get like some type of comp pick. So we might have a comp pick. It might not be as high as what we got him this year. So it all kind of depends. But yeah, man. As far as hitting gems on the active roster for me, it's Masses and Benson, guys to kind of keep a lookout for. But also, man, I'm liking the tape on Crawford, bro. Crawford looks good too, bro. And especially, I think with the whole, the highlight I think of day 3 was obviously the trading Tyree Wilson away to the Saints to go ahead and move up to 122, I believe. And I was like, what? And it kind of makes sense with Crawford, being drafted. He has the talent. I originally had him, lower than the 3rd, but either way, that dude does have talent. Looking at tape more, man, it gives me more confidence. But more importantly, we already started on that path to go ahead and really provide help for Max Crosby, man. So we have Kuntz on a 1 year. He don't know, for right now with me and Kunt, it's kind of on that year-to-year basis, and the Raiders are kind of on that same wavelength. And you also have like guys like Charleston, and we just got Kwity Paye, and Kwity Paye, I believe, is also kind of on a 1 year, 2 year type of deal, right? So he's on a short term, but with Crawford, you're gonna have him here for about 4 years. So we're already starting on that path, and he might be that guy that comes in even on the rotation, mat, and makes an impact. So I'm excited to see what he definitely has to go ahead and offer. But let's go ahead and kind of talk about the who's gonna make it out of camp, right? And again, you have some guys here, some invitees. My thing is, we didn't get a whole lot of offensive linemen, and then D tackles as well. So we might have a couple guys kind of sneak in here. Again, only 17 dudes are really going to go ahead and make it. So out of those 17, maybe 1 or 2 dudes might sneak in. But the guys really on that UDFA list is the ones that I'm excited for. We talked about, like Walt said, EJ Williams, man. EJ Williams out of Indiana getting reunited with Fernando. That's a very interesting move, man. I'm excited about that. Roman Hembley. Let's talk about him. Roman Hembley was signed UDFA, and I saw that some of these guys might come in UDFA, right? And Roman Hembley has that talent to potentially be that running back 3. Kind of looking at his production from last year, I think he has that ability. How do you feel about EJ Williams and Roman Hembley, coming in and literally getting reunited with Fernando?
For me, like, a couple of my shows I've talked about it too. Like when you bring in a quarterback, you want him comfortable. Like you want to bring protection, weapons, and comfort. Like we didn't get his main with Surratt and Cooper, but we got one of his go-to guys that he's been with in the past, which I love, with EJ. Someone that he can kind of feel comfortable going through camp together, them communicating, learning everything together, which is cool. And Hemby too. And they've all won a championship together. So they understand the communication. What I like with the Hemby, pick too also is that the blocking scheme, like pretty much, I think if I'm not mistaken, he was the best blocker out of the 3. So I'm saying like that, there's always a win if you're getting someone that can protect. And, he's the closest one besides the center to the quarterback. And so like if you need him to get something, that's a good communication piece that you could just say, hey, whatever the code was in Indiana, like, hey, to whatever he needs to do. And, you always need that because you don't need a running back like, huh? Like what's, Like you need someone that's going to know you. So, I think for Fernando's development, it's good. Will they make the starting roster? I think Hemby will. EJ Williams, I think, will probably end up, hopefully, at the very least, on the practice squad. You know what I'm saying? We have a full wide receiver room, but like I said, it's going to be a battle, and anybody can get it. Like anybody can take anybody's spot on that. So I think EJ definitely has a chance. I would definitely love to see him on this team because, for what we have, like no disrespect to our guys, but we could definitely use some upgrades in that wide receiver room. So I hope both make it, to be honest, because Hemby, I feel, takes either, well, of course, replaces the irreplaceable Zamir White. And, what I'm saying, just having a third running back with Washington, just somebody that can pretty much, take the heat off and put some pressure on the defense too. Like when Washington and Genty are out, somebody that can still, you still got to bring a hat to. So I think from Lobby, what we've seen what Lobby can do in the running back room. He's maybe more special teams at this point, bringing in, better competition, to be honest. Love our guys, but I always want to upgrade. And I think for Collier, I think it's going to take a lot for Collier to even kind of crack this roster. So that's why I feel like we've needed new life. And if he was the answer, he would have been in last year. So,
right.
It's time for an upgrade. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure, bro. I'm excited for Hembley, bro. Just kind of being that third back, and that kind of different look. And you just never know how Kubiak's going to go ahead and scheme these guys up. With EJ, he's probably going to go ahead and most likely end up on that practice squad, but nonetheless, you got depth. This is a guy that you can activate and plug in, and he's going to be able to go ahead and provide a little bit of contribution in there. So. Another guy that I'm excited for is Gary Smith out of UCLA. That nose tackle, man. That might definitely a guy to go ahead and keep a lookout for. But also, there's going to be crazy. There's actually going to be a competition this year at kicker, man. Tokyo Toe is going to be making his appearance. He's making his appearance right now in rookie minicamp. Kenzei Matsuzawa out of Hawaii, man. And we needed a kicker. We decided to go ahead and part ways with Daniel Carlson this year, and we signed Matt Gay. And a lot of people weren't sold on Matt Gay, and I don't even think the Raiders were 100% sold on him either. But they signed Kenzei Matsuzawa, so it's going to be an interesting competition at kicker. Obviously he's a rookie, but we're gonna go ahead and find out what he's all about. So how do you feel about Kenzei? I don't know. Are you on the hype train about him, man?
Yeah, so kind of because of the story, like the backstory with they asked him how he came into the NFL football and stuff like that. And like basically he was like, I was on the West Coast and I went to my first NFL game and it happened to be a Raiders Brown game. And and we won. And it was cool to that his journey started like years ago. This was like he said, Oakland Raiders. He went to an Oakland Raider game. So how long that was. And then to end up with the Raiders later, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely like it. Shout to Matt Gay, but we can always use an upgrade and see what the Tokyo Toe could do.
Yeah, exactly, man. I think he makes at least a practice squad, bro. And we'll have a kicker. We'll have another kicker at our disposal. So it's we'll have that extra guy just in case, he happens to go ahead and kind of go down. But yeah, man.
He's that international player too. So basically, he's a free. It's kind of like a freebie anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to my guy 805 in the building. What is good, my guy? Jack Kenna says McCoy hasn't signed his contract. That could be different things. I don't think he's gonna necessarily want a lot of guaranteed money, bro. Some of these guys don't sign right away. Fernando essentially hasn't signed his contract yet, but is he not a Raider? He's a Raider, bro. So I'm not worried about McCoy, bro. But yeah, man. Let's see here. Go to the chat. Shout out to Nutty Raider in the building already. Bright eyed. All right, bright eyed Bushy Tail. Hitting up that. Hold on, bro. Let me do it right. Raiders! Yes, sir. Salute to you, my guy. Appreciate you pulling up. Yes, sir. Raider Paul says Spytek did a good job. Yes, sir, he did. And for me, this was like a B plus. It's not minus. It's all,
Jack,
bro. Yeah.
Jack, who is Stewart?
Who's what?
No, he said Genty, Stewart, and Hemby. This is running back is set. I'm like, who is Stewart?
Who said that?
Jack Kenna. I think he meant Washington, but he said Stewart. Unless we got a hidden player we don't know about.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he means Stewart.
Like Rod Stewart?
I think it's a fullback, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's a fullback. Let me look. Hang on one second, because they would be already on the depth chart.
Let me see. Because there's Connor. I'm gonna say Connor Cook. Connor.
He wouldn't be on the depth chart, but some people have. Connor Hayward. Oh wait, that's Connor Hayward. Yeah. Nah, I don't know who Stewart is, bro.
I hope he's good.
That one a little bit more. Explain that one a little bit more, my guy.
I hope he's good, whoever he is.
Walt says we can't let it be this Jesus, bro. You're walling out today, my boy.
Yeah.
Walling out. Yeah. Bloody says UDFA kickers, career long is 52 yards. No competition there, unfortunately. Okay. Well, he's going to be indoors, bro. But, yeah, stranger things happen. But I'm pretty sure we're going to be carrying that dude on the practice squad. So you just never know. You never know. Shout out to my guy, SoCal, in the building. Also with the Raiders. Yes, sir. All right. Shout out to MB. He says, sit Mendoza the whole year. He too sweet to play year one. Wow. I'm thinking about the whole
sweet. That's crazy.
I don't think about the whole too sweet, but they probably will. He's probably going to be sitting for a while, bro. So I'm all for that. Don't rush the process, but you just never know. But I'm gonna just say this: probably the only time we're going to see Mendoza is probably preseason. So just so y'all know, better get your preseason tickets, for sure. All right, Jackson though he meant Washington. Yeah. Washington is going to be interesting for sure, bro. That I'm excited about him. That's going to be the complimentary piece to Ashton Genty for sure, bro. Yes, sir. I'm in the building. What is good? Appreciate you pulling up, fam. Salute. All right. Let's go ahead and continue on. But let me talk about this type of news, kind of shifting away from the rookies. Lockie Tossie, again, another rumor. But I think this one has way more truth in it, and there's been reports coming out of the workout that they had. I think was it 2 weeks ago. They had Lockie Tossie out there. They had him out there working out with the D tackle. So it looks like Lockie Tossie is going to be switching over to D tackle. And let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. And shout out to Sam Warren. But he says it appears that Lockie Tossie is working out with defensive tackles in the Raiders offseason program. Tossie was originally signed as a defensive lineman for the IPP program, which is the International Player Program. But moved to offensive line. So it looks like he could be getting switched back under the new coaching staff. Again, this is a dude who's, 6'6", like 370, 375. Big oos. That's a big oos, bro. And he's going to be, it looks like they're probably going to go ahead and have him at the nose, man. And, because of last year with Old Man Pete at the helm, he found it wiser at the moment to go ahead and plug him in at on offensive line, and he did well. He did well, despite him not really having to play football at all, man. He's a rugby guy, and he did a decent job, but he's a power guy, and most likely, the best fit for these power guys is going to be on that nose, bro, on that defensive line, and I think that's probably going to be where he's best suited. But let me ask you, and then also I'll ask the chat, how y'all feeling about this? So, like, what do you think about Locky? Because I mean, a lot of people like Locky, bro. I like Locky, but obviously, the only thing with Locky is just his, that experience here. He's a very raw guy, literally just working off of just the sheer athleticism and the talent he has. But as far as like playing the game and playing the positions, there's not a whole lot there. But there could be potential there. But how you feeling about Locky potentially going to nose, man?
I mean, first of all, I like Lucky Tassi. I had no idea he was 370 though. Because when they were talking about Twitch, I was like, did they say 370 or 317? And then I mean, it was like three. I was like,
nah, man,
that boy is a beast. Because and what were we saying? Like the reason we were mad about McDonald, right? Like passing up on McDonald was that we felt we needed a space heater. We needed somebody that could plug up that, you know what I mean? Plug up that hole in the middle. And then we had it the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So like we didn't know, but I mean, look, they kept it under wraps until after the draft. You know what I mean? Like it was crazy because I'm like, why would you trade to Houston the pick that they ended up taking McDonald with the pick that we had? So I was hot. Like I'm like, damn, that was it right there. And then but it ended up working out. And then we had it the whole time, and we picked up one in the 7th round. So you know what I'm saying? Like we are good. I still like Lalu and Adam Butler. We'll see. Like last year, we didn't really hear his name a lot, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think we're getting younger in that room too. Even with the 2 boys we picked up with Pagis and Tonka. So right now we're stacked in that, with some young talent. So, I like the direction. I mean, 370, that's crazy. And he's that's a monster. He's gonna automatically get,
Let me show you this real quick. This is the Oos, bro. Like, doing some workouts right there.
Working.
He a big dude, but he moves, man.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, and then so with him getting doubled, because you're gonna have to double him because he's gonna run all over. You know what I mean? Like he's just gonna run through people. But what that does is it frees up Max. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you can't double everybody. That's gonna free somebody up. So that's what I'm saying. We need that, man. This might be a monster we're building, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just I wanted to go ahead and kind of show that, man.
370 moving like that is crazy.
All right. Did we freeze? I think we froze.
Oh, there you go. Frozen.
All right, cool. Frozen yogurt. There we go. We back. But yeah, man. I mean, I think you also see here Tonka. Right now they have, I think it's still listed as Anna Butler, like the de facto nose. It might be a situation where there might be rotating dudes constantly in that position. It could be type of a scheme type of thing as well. Like I said, we drafted Brandon Cleveland in round 7, and also Gary Smith, the third, as a UDFA guy. So these guys might be on a rotational piece. And I think this is going to be a real competition as far as nose tackle. I think it's just kind of depending on how we're going to go ahead and be giving looks and kind of how we're going to be running that 3-4 scheme. So it is interesting, but I wanted to go ahead and kind of post this up because, Locky's been the name that we've talked about, man. So, it's just funny. Jack Hanna says, yes, Locky is back at nose tackle. Never should have moved to guard last year. Yeah, man. Passing would have been good at 2 gapping. That takes experience. Yeah, exactly. So that's a caveat, man. It's just that experience. He doesn't, he's a rugby guy. This is literally year 2 for him. playing ball. So it's gonna be a process, man. The cool thing is that we have there's a little bit of time, but I think if they just kind of keep it simple, and they just kind of learn, like, hey, bro, you just need to go ahead and bull rush these dudes, and then attack these terrible teams, and try to go ahead and just plug up that middle gap, man, and you might have something. If you could do that, we might have something there. So yeah, man, it definitely, it's a wait and see. Yeah, Jack says Tassi, the sea man, destroy man. He's a beast. He is a beast, man. So a big human being, bro. That's a big human being. And then let me play this real quick. You already got McCoy out there at rookie camp. He's already working out, man, with everybody. So there you go. It's good to see Jermod already out there with the rookies, with everybody else, getting their workout in, man, at camp. So hopefully good things to come for Jermod, man. So for sure. All right. Let's go ahead and kind of move on, man. And I wanted to go ahead and pull up this subject. But before I do, real quick, again, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe button on this channel, my boys' channel, Raider Nation Jason. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe. Turn on notifications as well. Make sure when news goes on, I go on. Don't want to be left out in the dark. Hit that subscribe, hit that noti, y'all, for sure. But let's go ahead and talk about this real quick. Potential, could there be a potential of us bringing in a veteran wide receiver? Again, us really just going after Naylor. We brought in Dareke Young earlier this offseason. Earlier this offseason. I think we signed another dude as well. But really drafting Benson out of this draft, and it was late. It was a sixth round for him. Could there be the possibility of us bringing in a wide receiver, a veteran wide receiver, or are they really settled with this wide receiver room? What are your thoughts on that, bro? Because right now, currently, and I can go ahead and pull this up. And this is currently the depth chart as far as on the wide receiver room. And currently you have Trey Tucker, Dante Thornton, Shedrick Jackson, Brendan Rice. You got Jalen Naylor, Malik Benson, Philip Dorsett, Chase Roberts, Jack Besh. I think this is going to be definitely a different, better year for Jack Besh, Dareke Young, and then Justin Shorter, and then EJ Williams for that wide receiver room. So how are you feeling about this wide receiver room? Do you feel like we need that extra guy? We need that, that X factor wide receiver, or you feel we good right here?
No, do I think we're good? I mean, it's still kind of yet to be seen, but with the veterans, though, I would say we got Naylor, and then really we got, what's his name, Dorsett, too. But I know they're not, anything to, kind of, be really excited as far as like for an X. But I think if leadership, we got those two, at least we got a young leader in Naylor, and then we got Philip Dorsett, that's been, pretty productive before injury. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, we have a young group, and there's a lot of people like the Brendan Rices, the Shedrick Jackson. Mm-hmm. I would love to see get an opportunity. I'm not done with Thornton. You know what I'm saying? I'm not done with Thornton. I feel we got the bodies. It's just I want to see them in the scheme. You know what I mean? Like I felt like Thornton was used the wrong way, and I feel like they should just get him comfortable with the ball, get him involved. Even Besh, like I don't know how they're gonna do this because somebody's got to go. You know what I mean? There's so many bodies, but we can only keep so many. You know what I mean? So
right,
Jack, like when you when we had Bachman and all those guys and stuff like that, like that's when our wide receiver room needed help. If that's who we were depending on of saving us and stuff like that. So I think since we got Malik this year, I don't think they're going to really focus too much on, because if you look at how it's going, we're going to be able to run the ball a lot. This is going to be a running team this coming year. You know what I mean? Like, so really on those 3rd and 7s, hopefully 3rd and shorts and stuff like that, we're able to do some play action, get either Brock or somebody, all we need somebody to just make a play, make a 7-yard catch or something like that. And let's keep these chains going. So I feel like next year's draft, we might get that either tackle and wide receiver, like first round, whatever, second round, either vice versa. I think, because if I'm thinking, that's what I would, that's where I would aim at. I would get our wide receiver for the future, because running backs were good. You know what I'm saying? Our corner room were good. Our DT room were good. What I mean, maybe unless something pops out, next year. But you know what I'm saying? I feel we could do something. We got speed in this wide receiver room. And I'm curious. I don't know what they're going to do, because like who I would pick is probably different from who they would pick, because I'm honestly looking past like the Jack Besh is the, you know what I mean? Which a lot of people are saying, oh, he's a high pick. Yeah. But I mean, if you can get somebody that's better, and then just say, not saying that he won't be on the roster, but just, I'm not seeing him as a 1 or a 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not putting him in a wide receiver 2 or a wide receiver 1.
Why don't you see him as a wide receiver 2?
I don't know. I would like a bigger, you know what I mean? Like bigger, kind of faster, because I feel like there's going to be times, he can get loose, but then there's going to be times where he's going to get locked down. And that's what we can't have happen, especially for your 1 or your 2. You know what I mean? Like he's not like a separation wise. Like he's not the fastest. I mean, he can body people and get open. You know what I'm saying? But like as far as like say 3rd down and long, and you need him to be the guy to make a, you know what I'm saying, like a 20, 13, 15-yard, you know what I'm saying? It's just how consistently can that happen with Jack Besh? Not saying he's a bad player, but just I'm looking for like if my best DB has to lock down, you know what I mean, Jack Besh, how hard does he have to work? You know what I'm saying? Like if that, or is that even going to be the number 1 receiver that he's going to have to lock down anyway? You know what I mean? And if not, that's what I'm saying. We need to find that number 1, because that's the thing. We don't have technically a number 1. You know what I mean? We have a bunch of 2s, 3s, and beyond. But who's the number 1? Like if you had to, I mean, it's sad that every time we say who's our go-to guy, it's Brock. But then after Brock, say if they double team Brock, then who do you go to? Trey Tucker? Is it the, you know what I'm saying, like Besh? Is it, you know what I mean? Like I liked Besh in college. I liked him as a player. I was glad that we added him to the team. But if you're saying that you're going to make him the number 1, I don't see that yet. But I hope, like I said, I hope he proves me wrong. But I just kind of don't see that. I just see this is going to be a very competitive room. There's going to be a lot of people, and I think we're going to be surprised at who makes it. I think Malik Benson will make it out of these players. Like, I really do, So that's what I'm saying. Somebody has to go. Everybody can't stay. So,
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, for me, as far as like the wide receivers are concerned, I mean, I think the first like 6, 7 dudes are they got talent, Tucker. We know what Tucker can do, but he's more of a complimentary piece. Jack Besh yet to be seen. I think from last year. I think with the thing with him, he just needed more production, bro. Like he needed more attempts, right? And he wasn't getting that last year. Jalen Nader, he's a new guy. The thing with Jalen, he has history with Clint. So you have that there, and he kind of knows how Jalen works, and I think that's going to be an advantage for us because they already have that familiarity. He's familiar with Clint's system, and he knows what Jalen's strengths and weaknesses are. So he's going to go ahead and use them up the right way. Same thing with Dariki Young. Another guy that he's going to go ahead and has familiarity. He's going to go ahead and use them a certain way. Now, the thing with like Dante Thornton, we knew what Dante was. He had a good amount of production last year. He couldn't produce. That's kind of what it is. You know, there was instances where even if it was the tank commander Geno Smith throwing the ball at him, there was times where Geno hit him in the numbers. He just couldn't make the catch. And the way he attacks the ball is also another issue, right? Kind of that waiting for the ball to get to him as opposed to him going up for the ball. So for me, for Dante, I need to see a big turnaround from him this year. Would he make the team? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna make the team. I'm not really too worried about that. The thing is, like, for him to actually get some playing time and really make an impact, he has to go ahead and change things around. Malik Benson, I think this guy is going to be more of a special teams guy. You might just see him in certain situations, but or as a depth piece, a rotational guy, like for like certain a play here and there, but he's probably going to be mostly a special teams guy. Cedric Jackson, I'm very excited about. I hope he gets more of an opportunity this year. You never know, but I like what I saw last year. Even if it was limited, I think there's something there. Brendan Rice, I have, that's Jerry Rice's son, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen really anything of him. I heard it was cool in USC, but he's been bouncing. He bounced around he went to the Rams.
Chargers.
I don't know. Chargers was the Chargers, yeah, and then us. So he hasn't really made an impact yet. So we'll see, right? But out of those guys, I think those are the ones that that might have something there aside from Dante Thornton. Trey, I mean, hopefully, I think this might be the last year for Trey, bro. To be honest with you, I feel that with Malik here having kind of that similarity to one another, and just Malik being that taller receiver, it might be the last year for Trey. I don't know, but we shall see with that. I honestly feel, and if I'm thinking the way that Spike thinks, I think he might be good with this room, bro.
Mhm.
I'm not good with this room. You might not be good with this room. Raider Nation might not be good with this room, but we don't know. Like, up is down and down is up and right is left. So I think they might be good with this room. I don't know if necessarily would they be and they bring in a veteran wide receiver. They could, if they do depending who it is, it might be. I might be cool with it. I might be not. But let me just kind of go over as far as what's currently out there for veteran wide receivers, and I'll tell you who I feel maybe we should go ahead and take a flyer on. And people are probably gonna disagree about it, and that's okay. But right now, currently, we have Tyreek Hill out there, Stephon Diggs, Deebo Samuel, Curtis Samuel, Juwan Jennings, and Juwan Jennings is probably a guy that I feel that probably would be a better fit for the Raiders coming out of the Kyle Shanahan system. And Kyle Shanahan is more of a run heavy, run first type of offense that he leads. So the cool thing with Juwan is he's he can block. He can go out there and block for you, but not only that, he's a true X guy. So he's gonna go and get you, those few yards, 4, 5, 6 yards. He's a red zone guy. He's gonna be able to go ahead and contest those 50-50 balls. A guy who's under 30 years old. The thing with Juwan, I think he tried to go ahead and reevaluate himself a little bit. So but it might be a situation where he might get a 1-year deal, and he might come on board. I don't know, but if they do go out for a wide receiver, it might be him. I don't know. I know a lot of people like Stephon. The thing with Stephon, with his history, outside of the field, I don't see that really happening. Raiders are really, really about that integrity, about that. It's kind of how you conduct yourself outside of the field. So I don't see that really happening. Deebo has had a slew of injuries, so I don't know if that's going to be an option either. But you also have DeAndre Hopkins, Keenan Allen's out there as well. So, um, what do you think? You think they could possibly go after a veteran wide receiver?
Yeah, I kind of like Keenan Allen, just also for I know the age is up there, but the price, you know what I mean? Just something we could sprinkle in just for some vet leadership, like someone that's done it, you know what I'm saying? Like he knows the Chargers, you know what I'm saying? So like anything to get a little, get a little insight. Jawan Jennings, I like too. You know, I feel like he's going to be pricey though because he's been balling the last couple of years.
Yeah. If you get Jawan anything under 15, I think we do it, bro. You know, anything north of 15, no, I'm gonna be good on that, bro. So it just kind of depends where he's at, but I think that that market value where they have him is a little bit, it's kind of inflated, but I think if they're able to go ahead and come up to some agreement where they're able to get him on a 1 year that's under 15, I'll be okay with that. But I guess again, that's only if Spytech wants to go ahead and bring in a guy like that for this year. But with all intents purposes, it looks like they're probably going to go ahead and get their true wide receiver one next year, bro. I think that's kind of the way it's kind of shaping out to be. But you like Keenan Allen? I think with Keenan Allen, bro. He's not bad. He is older. He doesn't have that step that he once had. But I know that he has like a little special place in his heart for the Raiders. But that's what I heard. So could it happen? I don't know. I don't particularly think so. But hey, stranger shit has happened, bro. As we go through this off season, bro. But yeah, man. We'll see what happens. But I think they're gonna be good on that, bro. I honestly think they're I think they like this wide receiver room currently. So I think they're gonna utilize that. And again, it's probably just because they're gonna be so run heavy for sure. Shout out to I am. He says Kubiak offenses don't have to be traditional X wide receiver. Yep. Don't have a traditional X wide receiver yet. I mean, you had JSN last year, and JSN balled out. So it's just kind of who you plug in. But I think at this stage in the game, kind of how we're going through this rebuild, I think this is going to be a lot of run heavy. But I mean, having Ashton Genty, bro, with Mike Washington, woo, that's gonna be fire, bro. And they already put that dude in front of Dylan Lobby. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, they put him in front of Dylan Lobby already, bro. So
I did too.
yeah. So they already kind of him as their running back too. And again, it's gonna be that complimentary piece that's really gonna be paying dividends, bro. I mean, having those two dudes like one after another is gonna be fire, bro.
Yeah, I'm happy with the running back room. The way, like I said, if Hemby ends up that third running back, or what I'm saying, because that's why I think Hemby makes the roster, because I think they'll throw Lobby on the practice squad. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think nobody's going. If they do, cool. If they don't, he's on the practice squad. But I don't think they'll risk putting Hemby and then Hemby getting took. You know what I mean? So if anything, I'm gonna let you have something that's I don't want you to take. You know what I mean? So
yeah. No, exactly, bro. I honestly do think also that Hemley is probably gonna be that third guy, bro. Let's see here. Hang on 1 second. All right. How good are you? Good on time?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So hang on, let me put this up real quick. So it looks like there's a pressure right now going on.
Nice.
Shout out to Raider Felons. He says there's a presser right now. Let me see. I was about to start. I thought it was on already. I'll keep an eye out. If it does go on, then I'll plug it in real quick. But let's see here. Gianna? Who's Gianna, bro? Gianna's gonna want like 15 or
She probably will. No, I'm just kidding.
right?
She
Yeah,
probably
man. Better it's cheaper to keep her, bro. As the saying goes. Jawan Jennings, I think you mean, bro. He's
Yeah.
about 15 million a year. 15 million. Yeah. He's looking for a long term. Jawan Jennings is looking for a long term deal, but I don't think he's gonna find it, bro. You know, that's kind of he's still out there. Nobody signed him yet, so yeah, I don't know if he's gonna get that long term deal. You never know, but if he's willing to go ahead and kind of do a 1 year, that might be something that we might possibly entertain. Again, it's only if it's kind of more on the cheaper under that 15 million mark, but yeah, that's probably why nothing has happened yet for sure. All right.
Oh yeah. Do you think they'll bring somebody? Do you think who do you think? Like, I know we talked about who we want, but like, do you think they really will? You think they'll stick with these guys?
I think they're gonna stick with these guys. If I'm thinking like Spy Tech, I think they're gonna stick with what we have, bro, and they're gonna run with it for the rest of the year. You know, they're not, because we're in a stage where we're just getting all the pieces together, and the focus is probably gonna be just run heavy. They're not too interested in going out and getting like kind of like the veteran wide receiver guy to make an impact, unless they feel like there's a possibility of them like really contending for like a playoff position. Then maybe that's the route they go. But I honestly think the way they've kind of been doing things, they're just going to go ahead and kind of take their time on it, and they're going to kind of wait for next year. That way they can go ahead and vet these guys, just kind of how they did the process this year, and going out and getting, the next wide receiver. So whatever we're going to land at, depending on our record, we could be still possibly picking in the top 10 in the first round next year. That could be possibly the play. And we could possibly get, either maybe a top 5 wide receiver for sure. For sure, we can get that. If we're picking like 10, 11, 8, somewhere around that range, bro, we're going to get a really good X wide receiver, bro, wide receiver 1, So it's just, I don't see us like, we're going to be better than we were last year, but I don't think we're going to be moving the needle like that, to be honest with you. That's just for me. And I'm not even trying to put a record on this year. It's just not, this is, I want to give Clint all the room to go ahead and operate, and not, again, for me, like I tell everybody, and I keep telling everybody, don't put like that top. We shouldn't have a number and expectation like that this year. The only expectation is that we look on the field, we should look better. That's the only expectation we should really have, But as far as like number record wise, we shouldn't. We should just let the process go the way it goes, So I'm a core believer in that. This is going to take a few years to go ahead and really, piece together. The cool thing is that we have the right guys in the room to go ahead and get that done, So if it doesn't look pretty, if we win one more game that we did last year, don't be like, man, this was a shit year. I don't know what's going on. That's how rebuilds are, man. If you win one more game that you did last year, you're improving. We're a 3-14 team last year. We're technically a 2-15 team, but
thank you.
Yeah, KC kind of like let us have that one at the end, but honestly,
no Mahomes, no problem.
Yeah, exactly. And that was by chance, bro. If Patty was healthy, do you think they would give us that one? No.
Hell
no way, bro.
Yeah,
they watched that season last year, so they already know. But we were for all intents and purposes, we're a 2-15 season, and if we win 4 games, cool. We win 5 games, I'm happy with that, bro. And I feel like, all right, cool, we're building towards something, and then 2027 is probably going to be the year where we're really going to start contending for things. And if we do it this year, great. That's icing on the cake, bro. But if you don't, they ain't nothing. It ain't nothing, bro.
Like not 9 games. I'm not saying we're gonna get 9, but I'm saying like you know how someone asked the question, if we won 9 games and say like we lose the last game to win the playoffs, are you still happy with how the season goes? Now before I used to say no, because it's playoff or bust. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
Yeah.
I mean, with how this thing has been going with us, bro, like that means that we had 9 wins, which is more than we've had in the last few years. And it means we're playing competitive ball again. So, I mean, damn, I hate to backtrack, but I mean, to be honest, I'd rather us be competitive, man. Like, I don't like how last year went. I don't never want to see nothing like that again, where we literally were thinking, no, not everybody, but I just get the big picture. It was easier. It was better for us to lose, and look what we've gained. It sucked, but we should have did this a long time ago. We would have already been here. You know what I mean? But it just took us years to swallow our pride and just say, look, man, we're gonna put put the guys we have here, and whatever happens, happens, and whatever happened, happened. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
And after this draft, are we mad? Everyone that was like, I don't want to lose it. None of us want to lose these games, but it is what it is. We earned this spot. We earned everything we got, but at least we're doing the right things with it. Because when Gruden was here, we traded things and we didn't get back in return what we traded away or got rid of. So this time I feel like we're gaining, because the impressive thing was we had 10 draft picks to start off with. We made hella moves, and then we still ended up with the same 10 picks and hit. You know what I mean? And Jermod McCoy is the gamble pick. So just let that sink in. Every other pick would have been, years ago would have been a gamble pick, and we would have had one good pick out of that whole mix. So now things are flipping. You know what I mean? Things are slowly turning in the right direction. So shout.
Yeah, exactly, for sure. Man, I agree. 100%. Shout out to my guy Greg. He says this season is a building of year of trying to be bought in with Kubiak and the players. We need to take it one game at a time. Yeah, bro. I for me the measuring point, the measuring stick is just gonna be how the eye test, bro. How we look on the field. Do we look competent on the field, bro? There was times where I'm like, yo, I don't even know we contend with the JUCO, bro. At times, for real. Like I'm not even capping, because we look like bad, bro. We just straight look like dog shit, and I'm like, I think this is the point that we hit rock bottom. It wasn't the year prior, and though we thought we hit rock bottom, it was last year, bro. And I mean that 3-14 kind of tells you in itself, bro. And especially with all the expectations that we had going into that season, like, oh, we got Pete Carroll, oh, we got what's his name from Ohio State, offensive coordinator
Chip Kelly.
We got Chip in the building, and like, all right, cool. We still kept Patrick Graham, and so we like, all right, cool. We got continuity. We got this. We got a new quarterback and all this shit, and like it still produced the same turd, bro. Just even bigger. So I think with this year, though, we still got a new quarterback. We drafted a quarterback for the future. I think just knowing that, hey, this isn't still going to be a turd. It might just be a smaller turd. I'm cool with that, bro. I'm definitely cool with that. Shout out to my guy Anthony in the building with the legendary avatar. There you go. One of my mods here at Just Raiders. Appreciate you pulling up. Salute to you, brother. All right. Let's see here. Shout out to Christopher Razorback. Yeah, bro. I'm saying your co-host for today. There you go. There you go. So it's good, my guy. Appreciate you pulling up. Yeah, Jermod is a solid pick, even if we came back a 7th rounder, man. I think you just make that deal all day, bro. You make that deal all day. It didn't hurt.
The two most impressive trades were the Tyree Wilson and the Geno Smith trade. Man, shout out to
bro. Shout out to my guy Raider Resistance. He said that because of that trade, I think we cleared like $4 million off the cap, just for him. And we ended up getting a draft pick out of it too. So I'm like,
Winning.
Last year, I was ready to trade that dude for a fucking bag of fucking chips, bro.
That part.
Give me a bag of Doritos. We got a deal, bro. Like,
yeah, so half a bag at that.
There you go, bro. Like, give me,
yeah.
give me 2 Doritos and a soda, bro.
Sold.
So
Yeah.
fun deal. So it was that type of that was that type of scenario for sure. Shout out to Mega 805. Smaller shirt. That's one way of putting it. Yeah, dog. I mean, I don't know how else you gonna put it, B.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh man, that's funny. But
Chris called the shot.
He did.
And he literally did too. The second day, like I was having a meltdown. I was like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? How does this help it? Blah, blah, blah. He said, oh, you never know. He said, he said, they'll probably trade Tyree Wilson tomorrow. Watch. And then first thing I thought of, I was like, damn, that's crazy. Because then it started making sense. Everything kind of started breaking down, like, okay, now I see. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the order of everything, like I said, was crazy. And it just didn't make sense until day 3. And then
he just did enough, bro, to like be able for him to be tradable.
Yeah,
that's how much production and ball play he had last year for him to be tradable. Like, cool, because he did show some improvement, and last year, but it's just the expectation that we had for him as a 7th overall pick is just. It ain't mathing, bro. Like what he's producing, what he's able to go ahead and contribute, it's just not on par, So it was definitely on that kind of bust type of level at this point. If he would have still been here at this point, it was probably what was going to be. It's probably going to head in that direction. It still can head in that direction, bro.
Yeah.
If he does the same shit he did last year over at New Orleans.
Yeah.
Same thing, bro. And he's probably gonna be a bust, bro. So I don't know.
The Malcolm Kuntz thing, I think, is kind of a win-win for us because he's playing for a contract either somewhere else or because this is probably his last 1-year deal with us. So basically, he's gonna be balling. Like he's gonna be trying to give his best to either get his next.
So.
You know what I mean? So like, I that's pretty good. Because worst case. It's kind of like I said, it's a win-win because we didn't give him the big contract. Say if something happens, so if he doesn't ball out, we're like, cool. At least we didn't give you a multi-year contract. And then if he does ball out, then cool. And we'll talk at the end of the season. But it's kind of a win-win. But then we got a lot. Could he pay? You know what I'm saying? We got I don't know. We'll see who comes out of camp too. But we got a permanent on Max, on the other side. So, that's, unless we do another fake trade, he ain't going nowhere,
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and post this up. The pressure's on right now. Fernando's at the podium. So let me go ahead and pull that up real quick. All right. So don't go away. I'll put it up right now. I'll take a hit.
Be able to look the guys in the eyes and then so you can go out and execute.
Everybody knows your life has kind of been a whirlwind the last few months from Heisman to championships to draft and everything else. Have you been able to settle back into routine of just working? Has that happened for you yet? Do you feel like you're getting back to that?
Yeah, out of all those, great milestones, I'm really happy about these past 2 days because it's back to football. It's good, and I really enjoyed college. We were able to the Hoosiers were able to end off on a high point, and now back to the bottom of the totem pole. Yesterday, I was like, wow, I have a lot to work on. And wow, the NFL players, everybody here in rookie camp, these are all really, really good players. So I need to elevate my level of play to then when we go to OTAs next week and training camp. So it's good to start back on the bottom of the totem pole. I have a lot to learn and a lot to grow up with great coaches and great players around me. I'm excited to do it.
Talked about leadership being earned, not given kind of a couple weeks ago. We see you breaking down the huddle and stuff today. Are there steps that you've already taken to kind of establish yourself more as a leader here in rookie minicamp?
Yeah, I would never proclaim me as a leader. I'd let my teammates do that. But in rookie camp, everybody's trying to show out. It's essentially a tryout for all the rookies, including me. Camp invites, UDFAs, any draft picks, as Coach Kubiak says. And so we're all just trying to rally together, keep each other up, whether it's bad play, good play, have a neutral mindset, and I naturally, getting to know the guys throughout these past 2 days, giving them fist bumps, them patting me on the butt, kind of giving a little talk back and forth after the plays, and
Wait, what?
stuff like that just naturally happens. Whether it's another player, like whoever it is breaking down.
Yeah. So if you guys are just tapping in right now, appreciate you guys pulling up to Good Morning Raiders. Right now, the Raiders are having presser.
I believe May 11th is the first day of OTAs.
Is
If I'm
Wilkins
not
there still?
mistaken, I have the calendar.
Who's-
However,
Wilkins.
I don't
No.
have the calendar.
Right.
Well, maybe I do. I'm sorry. I gotta check Teamworks. If it is on the first day of OTAs, like I said, I'm on the bottom of the totem pole here. I gotta prove myself. I can't miss practice. I don't know anything official. I don't have the calendar, but I just wouldn't, as a rookie, I don't think that's a good look. And I want to, try to best serve my teammates. And I don't know if that'd be accomplishing that goal, because it's, although it'd be,
Fernando, you previously mentioned about Kirk Cousins. Just how beneficial is it to have someone in that quarterback room that's has familiarity with Kubiak's offense?
Yeah, I think that when we're watching the film, we see, Kirk Cousins operating at a very high level. So I think it's going to be very beneficial hearing him talk, observe, and just being around him, trying to get some osmosis from him in a way where trying to absorb information. And I'm really looking forward to that relationship.
Talk about that osmosis. When you come in the building, you see guys like Tim Brown and Marcus Allen and Jim Plunkett. What are those conversations like, and what are some pieces of advice that you would say they gave you that has even helped you this young in your career?
Like Mr. Davis told me, the strength of the Raiders is in their alumni. And I think that's present when you see all these alumni out on the practice field or in the building. I think it's a very special thing about this cornerstone franchise. And it's them giving, evidently, if they see something on tape, I'm sure they'd tell any of the players, but it's more of at the Raiders standard and the commitment to excellence that they're going to push, because that's what they did when they were players, and I'm sure they want to see it now.
You got a lot on your plate already anyway with what's going on here, but this coming Tuesday is going to be the first Hispanic Football Hall of Fame, and you were named the Hispanic College Player of the Year. What did that mean to you to be recognized as such?
Well, it was a great honor, and there's been many great Hispanic players, like we just mentioned, Jim Plunkett. There's a lot of other great college players, Hispanic players in college this year. So we named that it's a great honor. Really makes me proud for my grandparents immigrating from Cuba, and to be able to, all four of my grandparents immigrating from Cuba, being able to live the American dream, and then now allowing me to be on this stage, it means a lot.
Went on to draft a whole lot of defensive backs after you. What have been your impressions of those guys early, and what's the battle going to be like with them throughout all the way through training camp?
It's been great. I've been talking to all of them. My locker mate right now is Stooks, so to have him next to, battling him and seeing such a great player on the other side of the field, and just all the defensive players, it's been
What's good, my guy?
It's been great.
Salute to my guy run down the building.
Test the offense, especially the offensive rookies, and look forward to all of us growing together and best serving the organization.
You met with Clint Kubiak a handful of times during the draft process. What are your first impressions of him as a coach?
Yeah, I think that he's a great teacher, and be able to get little nuggets here and there from him, accompanied with Coach Dinoco and Coach Sullivan, has been very beneficial. And to have such a genius offensive mind, running such a coherent and complementary system, is a really good place and really good situation to be in as a quarterback. So I'm blessed and I'm ready to get to work. And, I have a lot to improve. They know that. I know that. So I'm just ready to improve.
To that point, you've been here 10 minutes in the grand scheme of life, right? But you're talking about all the things that you picked up over the last 2 days. What are you a little bit surprised by that you thought you'd get faster, but you're kind of struggling with right now in your mind?
Yeah, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn. I'm a rookie.
Good question.
And I've learned a lot in these past 2 days. I feel really good coming out of this rookie mini camp with the entire system, day one and day two of the system, imprinting it, be able to run it rather than, really having the application and the schematic on paper part. I feel really good coming out of this rookie mini camp, but I think it's going to be that repetition under center, getting those quicker feet, and just, you can always be faster and more efficient in your reads and decisiveness.
Q Myers to Raider Nation Radio.
Shout
with
out
all
to
that
you.
being said, everything you're learning, is it get a little overwhelming, or does it feel like it's slowing down a little bit, even though it's only day 2?
It's good. It's great. It's great to finally be back in football and have that information. And that's how you want it. You want it to be overwhelming, because when you are, it doesn't need a negative connotation, but when you're positively stressed by getting a lot of information, it allows you to grow. And so all of us rookies and trial guys being able to get stressed by the information, I say that in quotation marks, will allow us to grow. And we saw that from day 1 to day 2. So it's been a great opportunity. I think it's really going to help us rookies into going into it's OTS. Sorry.
What are your first impressions of Malik Benson so far after working with him?
He's great. I connected with him a couple times yesterday on 7-on-7, and great playmaker, really fast and great hands. So look forward to getting more work with him.
There you go.
Creating that rookie rapport.
Mhm.
He's also a great guy and great character. Yesterday, always wants extra work. Receivers, quarterback, centers. We were there doing a walkthrough last night, and he was the first one there.
Let's go, man.
Being here, you've dreamt of this moment your entire life. Are there any surprises that have come your way so far?
I think it's the realization that you have the Raider logo on your chest and you're playing NFL football, which is great. And it's a great privilege. And with that comes a lot of responsibility. Responsibility, like Coach Kubiak says, of being a Raider in this off week, making sure you're working out every single day, having your decisions focused on becoming the best player you can be and the best serve the team and the best serve the organization. So to have that little moment of awe, like, wow, NFL, then now it's NFL. There's a lot of responsibility in that. What a privilege. And let me control the controllables every day so I can best serve my teammates.
What do you have to do to earn your shield?
I have no idea. I mean, I've only been here 2 days. I would be lying to you if not, but I'm just going to try to improve every single day, and hopefully one day I could earn my shield. But yeah.
Say you still have a lot to learn. What about that challenge excites you? Because you've been there before in your career.
I think it always excites me to learn, because that means there's a room for growth. It's when the coach says, hey, you have a lot to learn, you have a lot of room to grow, it shows that your best football is ahead of you. Whether it's, any of the rookies, I believe we all have a lot of room to grow, including me. And so to hear that from the coaches means that they see, potential. However, potential is nothing unless you improve every single day and control the controllables. So looking forward to growing. And
That's true. That's true, buddy.
And working my way up and earning the respect of my teammates and becoming the best player I can become to best serve them. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
All right. So that was Fernando. That was the Raider presser. Fernando was at the podium right now. He just spoke. Real quick, what did you think about everything he just said? We didn't miss too much. I think we just missed like 1 or 2 questions at the beginning. So
yeah, it's Cal Bears, and Indiana Hoosiers are great people, great players. I'm excited, man. Like he's all about the work, and I appreciate that. Like he's not going in there tooting himself, and I have the same mentality too. Like I like to, you look better when you have confidence and you do well, and you're humble. People work with you a lot more, and if you're not an asshole or excuse me, a-hole, or what I'm saying, you do, what I mean, like you're cocky and all this kind of stuff. When you make mistakes, people are gonna get on your butt. So him, I feel like he's probably more far ahead than he's making it sound. You know what I mean? But he's staying humble and he's staying, just prove it. I love that he doesn't like all these interviews, like what he was saying, like he doesn't like the talking about it. He likes to get out there and do it. And I love people like that. I don't like the people that we've seen weeks after week, Monday through Saturday, talking about, oh, we're gonna do this and we're gonna blah blah blah. I like that about that action, man. So I can't wait for him to get his opportunity. I really feel he will get his opportunity a lot sooner than people think, because, like I said, I get the Manning and I get the whatchamacallit, the Luck vibes. Because when Luck would talk about plays and stuff like that, like he would just, you could tell the kid was just so smart. And like, that's what I say, for people like that, the game slows down, bro. Like for smart people, like it's not about, it's more not instincts, but it's just you understanding everything, understanding why. And that's why I said, like, once he gets to know this system, he's gonna be a dangerous man because like he almost overthinks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and which for a quarterback, that's what you want. Because like Peyton Manning was like that. Like he would have all this stuff going. Like if this is not there, I know this is gonna be there. You know, and it was like it's just somebody's open, and he just knows to get it to him. So I hope what I'm feeling is, you know what I mean, what it is. But I'm very excited. I love the kid, man. Like I it's a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean? Like we've needed to do this for so long.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it's him. I'm glad it came at this point. So
yeah, for sure, bro. And and I kind of know what he meant by like that good stress. It's like you're trying to absorb all this information. You're just trying to go ahead and be out there and give it, your everything. And I think that's what he's trying to go ahead and kind of, portray. And I think that's what he was kind of mentioning before. Just kind of that good stress. It wasn't him like, oh, I don't know what, this is all too much for me, but it's just like, I'm trying to process everything. But different people learn different ways. So he might not be necessarily smart as he is. He might learn best way by implementing, by actually doing the process. And that's kind of what I took away from it. Is like I need to get into the reps. I need to get behind center. I need to go ahead and make the throws. All that for him is what really gets him better, not just learning the playbook. Because he's that like I need to actually do things type of guy. And that's kind of sometimes how we learn as well. So little preview of Fernando earlier today under center. So just kind of want to show you guys this real quick. So he's doing some boots and rollouts. There you go. So you got Fernando already under center, taking some reps and whatnot. And you talked about Malik Benson. The guy's fast, great hands. I'm glad to hear that they're connecting and they're starting to go ahead and kind of build that continuity already. The thing is with Benson. I really want the telltale test for me is going to be when they actually start putting, the pads together and you actually have a defender on them. Because I'm pretty sure right now, they're just throwing. They're not really like engaging one another. You need to have that dude on you, fighting for position. That's really going to be that telltale sign whether you're going to be able to go ahead and make those catches. Where you're being contested, or are you not? This is kind of a simple way to go ahead and put it. So, but currently right now, Keyron Crawford is at the podium. He's speaking. I'm going to go ahead and continue on. I just wanted to go ahead and pull up a little bit because you still have a couple more dudes that are going to be speaking earlier. But let me kind of go ahead and go into this segment. We're gonna go into our meet our guests. This is a moment where we go ahead and take part of the show to go ahead and get to meet our guests. And obviously this week's guest is none other than my guy Red Nation Jason. And you were on here before last year, but we didn't get to do this. I didn't have this out there. So I like to start with my guests as far as who's on your Raiders Mount Rushmore on your all-time, and this is you can put players, coaches, mix them in between. It don't matter, but I like to go ahead and ask this question: who's on your Raiders Mount Rushmore?
Definitely. I'm gonna have to put Al Davis and Madden on for sure. That's two.
Yeah.
Growing up, it was always like C. Wood, Tim Brown, like were my favorite players. So like I would definitely put those two. To be honest, guys, like as a kid, I was adopted and all this kind of stuff. So, you know what I mean? I used to always see like Tim Brown as like the role model of like a father figure because like I grew up in Oakland, right? So we didn't have like a lot of good role models and stuff like that. You know, it was either sellers, pimps, all all kind of different role models. But as far as like a good person, like Tim Brown was like one of the people that I seen, just a good dude, like good person, like a person that would be a good role model. So like I always had admiration for him too, and very loyal person to the silver and black, like just all around good person. And Charles Woodson, like just always since Michigan, you know what I mean? Like I was always a big fan and just was juiced when we got him on our squad, and just to see him progress, like to be a staple, you know what I mean? Because we draft a lot of players, and he was one of the ones that we did it right. We did that one right. Al Davis, of course, because like without him, he believed in this team. He believed in what we were. He took chances with different races, different, backgrounds and stuff like that. And he always gave people opportunity, you know what I mean? And just how, they treated the players coming back and stuff like that. Madden, of course, you know what I mean? Just one of just the staples of, of Raider football, and just everything of just his story is just amazing too. But yeah, that would be my it's hard too, because there's so many greats, but to kind of put it in a perspective, that's it.
Yeah, for sure, bro. No, that's good, man. I know it's hard because there's so many, man, and you just want to put everybody up there, bro.
Yeah,
I feel you. But let's go ahead and move into kind of the spotlight, meet our guests. Let me ask you this, and let's just kind of start from the beginning, bro. I mean, how long have you been a Raider fan for? What was that moment that kind of made you fall in love with like the silver and black, bro?
Like growing up, you're always, because that's all like I didn't even know the Niners even existed until because I always hear the stories like, yeah, the Niners used to suck, all this kind of, you know what I mean? So it was just always, pretty much Raider. I was right down the street from the stadium, so but my first game, right, I got dropped off, and just the experience, man, like everybody took me in like I was their own kid. You know what I'm saying? Like just, looking out, making sure I was cool. Like, it was just like the atmosphere, man, of the Coliseum is like no other. It's family. You know what I mean? It's literally like when we went to, Bakersfield, like it was people I'd never met, but man, they treat you like we've known each other our whole lives. You know what I mean? People like, here, what's up? Hey, blessing people. You know what I'm saying? It's just the love. I mean, it's crazy too, because there was fans cussing out our quarterback at the time. It was Donald Hollis was the quarterback at the time, and so like he was doing bad, and they were giving him the business, like, and it just like, like when things would go good, we were cheering, but I mean, it was just nothing like it, man. That vibe is just, it did it for me. I knew I was home, because it's just growing up, I always had like. I was always a fiery fan too. And like my mom used to always say, that I was going to have a heart attack or something, just how pissed I would get it. Like, because it's a ride, man. Like we would be good. And then that fourth quarter, we would just like, I remember just back in the day, like 4 quarters, we would fall apart because we'd hang in there. And in the fourth quarter, that's when we just started losing bad, man. And it's, that's the memories though. I remember just my first game, and then from there it was on. Every chance I got, I'm getting to the stadium for sure.
Yeah. No, for sure, 100%. Let me kind of shift over to, kind of content creating. What kind of inspired you to start doing like Raiders content, like covering the Raiders? What was that kind of moment that was like, I need to go ahead and do this? And then what kind of challenges have you faced, like just kind of doing the whole content creating type of thing?
It's like I so not JT the Brick, but there was JT that goes on, and I used to watch some of his or listen to some of his takes. Everyone has different takes and stuff like that. And I don't know, for some reason though, shout to you, JT, because you inspired me to come on here. Because like sometimes I used to be like, wait, what? Like just the views, like, because people would be thinking this way, and JT would always come with like a different, way of looking at it.
He just still does that.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, so I was like, is he for real? Or is he doing this shit on purpose? Like, because I'm like, no, that's crazy, you know. So that inspired me, like, because someone else was telling me, like, they're like, the football, Raiders stuff and all this kind of stuff, and like, I could talk it all day. And they were like, you might as well just get your own channel. So, I started off doing like where I recorded the videos, and then and I talked to, it was actually Low. Dirty Low and them, like Low was like,
shout to Low and
yeah, so super salute, man, definitely, because like if he was like, sometimes you just gotta press record, man, and just just whatever happens, and from there I never looked back. So shout to them, I appreciate the push, and everybody was hella supportive, man. Like when I came in, everybody, from like basically like, I mean, pretty much everybody, like came, with love, like watching, putting my stuff up, putting the links up, because I was just trying to, just get in the mix, like just kind of add what I, because I mean, I love this team and I love the passion that everybody has for this team. Because like, even if I don't agree with whatever, your method for getting us better, you still want to get us better. And that's all that matters. However it looks, however we get better, man, that's what I want for this team. This has been the most frustrating 2 years. Like I would say, like when you talk about the challenges, like last year was the worst. Like as a content creator, that was my worst year. You guys will never see that moving forward. But I got in almost a desperate state. You know what I mean? Where it was just all the losing was getting to me, man. Like it was really getting to me. And
I think it was all of us, bro. I think that happened to all of us, man. I was struggling too, bro.
Yeah, and it got to the point where, like I said, why it was my personal worst is because I like to put a lot into my shows. Last year was kind of a hectic, crazy year too, and it was a combination of everything, like life, you know what I mean. But I felt like I like to put a lot into my shows. I like to do the research. I like to, like talk about game plans of like what we have to do to win. And it seemed like no matter what we did, you guys put on some of the best shows of if the Raiders do this, we could come out and then we do the exact opposite and just lose. It's just, and then how to build yourself up to the next week every week, you know what I mean? And you just want to see some progression of us getting somewhere better. And it's just like, we're just, if anything, we're going, so that was frustrating because it's like, who wants to come in here every week and talk about losing? You know what I mean? I'm the type of person, I hated losing. When I played, like when I was younger and stuff like that, I hated losing. I still hate losing. But it was just that I felt like we had more control over, because if I got to do my like they say, you're 111. If I got to do my job, I'm going to do my job. And if I know, I'm going to be vocal about it. So it's not going to last for long. You know what I mean? We're going to get this thing straight. And with the Raiders, it's been uncontrollable. I can't control this. I can't, we just have to sit and watch and it sucks, but I think, I always feel positive as far as like, this is going to change. It's going to change. And like, I sound like a broken record, but I feel like this is the start of it getting better. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it is a challenge when you're not winning because you want to talk about wins. I want to talk about we're better than this team. We kicked this team's butt. But no, we're talking about, damn, we didn't do this. We didn't do that. We can't run the ball. We can't do this. So
yeah, exactly, bro. And it was hard, bro. I think the way that how we're performing and just kind of the way that we're looking, it was just hard to go ahead and get up on the mic, bro, and talk about it, and it's like, fuck, man. I mean, you can only say the same shit over and over and over,
Exactly.
And it was hard to. The motivating factor was hard just to do content, but just to like go through this process of having, watching this team play the way that they played. It was just, man, it was rough. It was rough, bro. So yeah, I feel you, man. But let me ask you this. Let everybody know what you kind of have going on. You have anything in the works, anything that they should be looking out for, and then where can they find you at, man?
Yep, RNJ Podcast. I've been venturing with a lot of music. I used to do music back in the day, so I've been pretty much experimenting with music, and I'm trying to bring because in the dead of the season, right? There's like we're just waiting for something to crack off. So I want to be able to provide stuff in the off season. So I've been doing music videos. Like, I'm getting better. So, don't judge me. But, good music. The visuals might not be as good as the songs, but like, they will get better. I'm just trying to find a good system where I can keep cranking them out. But I was supposed to put out one last night. So just know that after I get off here, this weekend, hopefully by tonight, I can put it up. But yeah, before the weekend's over, it'll be out. So every week I'll give you guys something. And yeah, we got the podcast as usual. Like we got my brothers. Shout out to Chewy too, man. Much love to you. I hope everything is good with you, my brother. Chris, I seen you in the chat too. My bros, we do the show.
Yeah.
Cover 3. Tomorrow we got the Sunday morning pillaging show. With your boy Chris Fo Raiders, aka Dr. Dre, Chris Fo Raiders, coming with them slappers. You know what I'm saying? So hey, it's cool, man. Like, yeah, we just gonna keep it going. I this year I vow to be more positive, to not let this stuff get to me. I always said a couple weeks ago that we shouldn't put pressure on this season, and we shouldn't. But as we get to August, September, I can't make no promises, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be excited. I'm gonna be hyped. I'm gonna be believing that we can do it all. So, it is what it is. I have no shame in my game for always wanting this team to do good. And we're a sneaky ass team. So I always feel like when they don't think we're going to do it, that's when we're going to do it. So let's see if we do
it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, make sure you guys go ahead and tap into my guy, Raider Nation Jason. I got his link pinned down in the description. So make sure you guys go ahead and head on over and go ahead and give him a follow, y'all. But yeah, man. It's this season is gonna be interesting. I think I'm excited. Even if we're not gonna win, 10 games or anything like that, I'm so excited, bro. I want to go ahead and kind of see what this offense is gonna look like under Clint Kubiak. And I think we've begun the process to go ahead and put all the building blocks together to put something on the long term. And this is something that you talked about earlier about bringing in Fernando, and something that's been, long overdue. I think for us to be able to go ahead and bring in that right head coach, and somebody who's been successful in the league wherever he's gone, I think it's long overdue in itself. So I'm all for it. I'm excited to see what this offseason has to hold and what the season's going to bring as well, man. So whatever it's going to be, man, I know that we're going to go ahead and improve and look better. So that's for sure. That's for sure. Shout out to my guy 805. He says Bakersfield is going to be on point again this year. 2 weeks. There you go. Jack says he's wondering whether you and I are going to be at Bakersfield. Go ahead and let him know, my guy.
Oh yeah, I will be there, man. Me and Chris will be, roaming around, seeing what trouble we can get into. So yeah, tap in, man. Like, we will be there. Hopefully Jay will be there too. We're gonna see. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna just get my daughter real quick and then come right back up.
You're good. As far as for me, most likely I will be there. I don't know 100%. Whether or not I will be there, but it's most likely it's probably gonna be that. I gotta check a couple more things on my end as far as to make sure we're good to go, but we'll most likely be at Bakersfield. So it'll be a good one again out there, man, and linking up with everybody for sure. So just be. Yeah, just be on the lookout. I should confirm within the next week or so. So, literally just 2 weeks away, like 805 said. It's like 805 said. So, for sure. Shout out to my guy D Menace. Hit that like button for sure. Appreciate you, my guy. Salute to you. Thank you for pulling up, my guy, and supporting the show. And again, if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe button on this channel, share it on all platforms. Salute to everybody on X. Make sure you guys hit that repost button as well. Make sure you guys go ahead and share this on all platforms. Send it to your peoples on on IG, on TikTok, wherever you can go ahead and share it out to the masses, y'all. Appreciate everyone pulling up and tapping in. But again, we just had Fernando speak at the presser. Raiders are holding a presser. You had Trade Stukes and Kenyon Crawford. Trayson just finished talking as well. I didn't catch. I saw I had him on. I had it in the background, but I didn't really get to hear as far as what too much of what they're saying. I might have to go ahead and kind of rewatch that presser in a little while, man. But all good stuff. I'm excited about those guys. I'm excited about Stooks. Stooks gonna be that safety threat, man, and definitely you're gonna go ahead and see him get some reps for sure. I'm excited about finally us getting some nickels, man, and you know, uh, man, looking back at last year where we were just like struggling to have people in that position, man. You mean we even had Chin doing some reps there, so it's finally good to have some depth, really good like quality depth at the nickel position. Earlier this year we went out and traded for Taron Johnson, and we just drafted Dalton Johnson, no relation, but we got the Johnsons at nickel. So, and then you still have Stooks who can play nickel. So you have essentially three guys that can go ahead and play nickel. And you can even wrap in Chin in that mix too. So this defense is gonna go ahead and show a lot of different looks. So I'm excited to see what that actually looks as well. You have, we just went ahead and drafted Crawford as well. So we talked about it earlier as far as that those edges, that edge room also improved as well. With Kudins coming back, you have Quiddy Pay. You still have Charles Snowden, who had a pretty productive year last year. And then we just went out and drafted Crawford to go ahead and add to that mix as well. So excited to see what those guys can go ahead and bring in. And obviously that linebacker room, man, damn, that's gonna be entertaining as well. Obviously us going out and getting Walker and going out there and getting Quay Walker and Dean, man, it's already there. It's already going to go ahead and pay tenfold there as well. And so, again, a guy to kind of look out for is Sorry. He's a UDFA guy, but that's somebody that I was kind of eyeing and I would pick up late rounds in my mock. So I'm glad that they went ahead and got him at UDFA. And he's gonna be a good rotational piece to go ahead and come in. So that linebacker room again, it literally improved almost overnight from when we went ahead and got him during free agency. So this defense literally looks almost completely different from what it did last year. We have returning faces, but we also have some new faces as well. So it's going to be interesting to see for sure. And then obviously offensively, though we drafted Fernando, I don't know if we're going to see Fernando right away. For me, it's probably going to be preseason where we're really going to go ahead and see him do most of his reps. But during season, he's probably going to go ahead and most likely take a back seat. And, it's probably going to be the Kirk Cousins show for quite a while. Unless he either gets hurt or flat out completely sucks, which it could be either or. You never know. Hopefully it works out with Kirk and having Ashton Genty and now Big Mike Washington also added to that room. That complimentary 1-2 punch is going to be there. New additions with Naylor and Young being there as well to go ahead and be part of that mix. My guy Jason's back, and we got another special little guest. There you go. Our second special guest. There you go. We got Mama's in the building.
Yes,
There you
sir.
go. That's what's up. Hey, she came big, man.
Yes, sir. Man, fast.
They-
8 months yesterday.
Wow, bro, that's crazy. That's
Heck
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
It flies by.
hell yeah, it does, man. Shout to you too and the fam too. I know you've been doing your thing too.
Yes, sir, man. You know, I'm over here raising these young kids, man. These young folk over here, bro. You know, my boy, because you know, you were talking about the whole, you know, what we had life going on. You had your baby, and yeah, man. I have my boy. He's 15. He's about to turn 15 months. Literally in a few weeks. So, you know, celebrated his 1 year in February, and man, he's just growing up. He's already starting to walk, man. He's already taking his like 4 steps, and he's already starting to be like way more vocal, bro. And you know, he's trying to copy, you know, the words that we say and whatnot, man. So it just blink of an eye. So I know if I do pull up to Bakersfield, man, yo, you're gonna see my little boy over there. He looks different, man. So if y'all remember seeing him, he was like a little thing. He was like 3 months when we were at
Yeah.
Bakersfield. I don't know if you remember, bro.
Yeah, a little
Yeah,
bundle.
now he's 15 months. He's gonna be he's probably gonna be maybe walking, if not like at least already attempting to walk, bro, and
what's
chilling.
up.
But he's cool, man. He's cool. And then my girl Big, bro. I got a big girl over here, and she walking around talking, man. It's just getting into trouble. That's what
Yeah.
they do, man. That's what they do. They the dynamic duo over here for sure.
Oh,
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah, man. But
Yes, sir.
yeah, again, appreciate everyone who tapped in. Yes, sir. I don't know, man. We'll see. I know it didn't seem too sold out last year, but we'll see what happens, man. Again, I don't want to commit to anything yet because I don't know yet. So yeah, and if anything, if we don't make it out, well, you know, that's always next year, and there's always all the other events that are going on right before the season starts. And y'all already know I'm gonna be tapping in. I'm gonna be there at least a couple of games at Allegiant. I always gotta make the pilgrimage to Vegas at least once a year, bro. I cannot not go, dog. You know, so hopefully this year I'll be out in Denver. I didn't get to go to Denver last year because I went to the Jacksonville game, the Jaguar game. Then if you remember, that Thursday night game in Denver was like that same week.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, I can't do both, man. I ain't got that type of I ain't got that type of role to be doing back-to-back games like that. So yeah, I just ended up going to the Vegas one. So hopefully this year I'll be able to go ahead and go to Denver, man, because Denver for me it's like hop skip away, a little bit closer than Vegas. So and then everybody pulls up to that one as well from this side of the hood, and then hopefully I could meet up with Will as well because Will's from like down the street, so he good. There you go. 805 says I might have to hit the AZ game. Yes, sir, bro. Gotta hit the AZ game up, dog. It's hopefully that one's like in November. I don't know yet. The schedule release is literally like 2 weeks away too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see what's up with that one. So if that one's in like late October, like November, December, I'm going, bro. But if it's like September,
yeah, it's out.
Nah,
Nah.
no, I'm not doing it, bro. Man, it was terrible, bro. It was like 115 every day by like 10 o'clock.
I can't wait for that.
Nasty work, bro.
I want to see if that Niner Raider game is going to be Santa Clara or if it's going to be, I think, the Mexico game.
Oh, that's right. I don't know. That's going to be an interesting one. So that's going to be another one to kind of look out for. If it isn't at the Bay, bro, I might pull up to that one. My sister is a Weiner fan. So I told her, I'm like, what's up? You on the road to that one? We rode to it. Oh, it's all good.
Yeah, I'll see you out there. I'll see you out there because we for sure.
Yeah. You know, we got sibling rivalry, but that would be like the next level, bro. And we always talk a little shit,
Oh, yeah.
And we talked shit last year, bro. And I'm like, you know what? That was preseason, bro. Like,
Yeah.
now it's like they're actually gonna play a game or regular season game. So I'm like, all right, now it's for real, bro. Like these motherfuckers. If there's a game that I want them to win, I hope they win that Niner game, dog. Because I can't go a whole year with her talking shit to me, bro. That's
bro. We right here,
that, bro.
Hey, Jay, me and you right here. Hey, because I live in San Francisco now, so like I work with a lot of people that are red and gold fans, so.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that stuff. So you know what I'm saying? Like that's why if there's a game, that's the one. We need that. Last year I said it was the Saints game. Oh no, the year before that, remember, because DC and all that, but we got that one. I think last year I said the Patriots game. So and then we didn't win nothing else pretty much after that. But
that was it, yeah. Shout out to Jeff, bro, because that was like, well, I'm going to that one for sure. And then that's the game that he won, bro. So
we
I'm
put
like,
all our energy into that, you know what I'm saying? And then everything else, we spit our load.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Like, that was it. That was like that one bus, and that was it, bro. I'm like,
yeah.
That's all you get into, like, mid-season, bro, towards the end of the season. That's all y'all get.
Yeah.
Yeah. 805 said he's gonna be out to the Niner game. He's gonna try to hit that Browns game since Chris Protect Shields out there. He says, "Oh, I ain't no winter game." Yeah, bro, because then them Cleveland winners, they unforgiving, dog. I don't know, man. Yeah, but I'm not trying to go to no Phoenix, no Cardinal game, bro, out in 115-degree heat, bro. I ain't doing 120-degree heat.
That was my first game at Vegas. Was the Cardinals game, the overtime game where we lost in overtime with that fumble with Renfro. That was my first Vegas game.
Yeah.
Ooh, that one hurt. So every time I hear Arizona, I got a bitter moment for that one.
Yeah, exactly, man. And I'll try to see if I can go out to that home opener again, man, and hopefully we win this time, bro. Because every home opener we haven't been doing too good. But man, again, let them know where they can go ahead and find you at, bro. And where to go, what shows you have going on as well.
Definitely. Thanks again too, brother. The RNJ Podcast. You can check me out from anything from music to Raider news to funny clips. We have the Cover 3 show, which is our Tuesday show around 6:30-ish. We do the Sunday morning pillaging show. It's Chris for Raiders on both shows. Chewy is with us on the Cover 3 show. It's also, we have, you can pull up too, and with everything that's going on, it's been a lot to talk about. So as these weeks heat up, man, we'll have more stuff for you. Like I said, we'll be doing music in the meantime, because I know there's a gap between the draft and all the OTAs. Once they get out of camp, then we got a standstill. So we'll keep it lit, man. I know Jay gonna continue to do his thing, man, blessing us on these Saturday mornings, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna still be a Good Morning Raiders ain't going away, but we're gonna be doing it a little bit differently. I'm probably gonna be doing this more on the solo tip. We got some changes coming, so I got some exciting things in the works for everybody. So make sure you guys go ahead and stay tapped in. But I'll still be pulling up to Good Morning Raiders. It's probably gonna be like more like once every other week or once a month type of thing for Good Morning Raiders. But as far as some other stuff, I got some exciting things in the works for sure. But y'all already know, make sure you guys go ahead and tap into Raiders Unfiltered every damn Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific on the West Coast. Make sure you guys go ahead and tap in. We're going to be taking a short break from the Raider Connection. We're going to be on for the schedule reveal in a couple of weeks. So make sure you guys go ahead and pull up to that one. And then y'all already know this show when I'm on, it's gonna be Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific here on Just Raiders. But again, appreciate everyone who pulled up today. Make sure again, you guys go ahead and share it on all platforms. Hit the channel. It does help to go ahead and channel grow and get out to the YouTube universe and help show it to other Raider fans out there for sure. Appreciate everybody on X who reposted as well. Salute to everybody. But that is it for today. Again, shout out to my guys. Salute to my guy Jason. Thank you for pulling up today and rocking me, talking a little bit about Raiders football. We got to go ahead and hear Fernando talk about his 2 days at rookie camp, and hopefully we're gonna see a lot more of him to come as well. So make sure you guys go ahead and stay tuned to that. But there you go. Yep. Definitely a guy to go ahead and look out for. Sorry's on my list, bro, for sure. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But other than that, appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys on Monday with a fresh episode of Raised Unfiltered. So make sure you guys go ahead and tap into that one. But other than that, always remember, y'all, just Raiders, baby. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Salute, y'all. Have a good one.
Later.
Protect the shield. Good morning, brother. How you doing? My guy, Lunatic Raider Legions. What is good?
We on? Hey!
We on. None other than Mr. Fist, bringing none other than our guy, Joe Morley, bring out none other than the Violator, Wayne Aubrey, bring out none other than the notorious Mitchell.